Have you ever been walking through the dense, vibrant energy of a modern city, and then quite suddenly you turn a corner and find yourself in a place of profound silence? A place where the noise of the world seems to fade, replaced by the crunch of gravel underfoot and the whisper of wind through ancient trees. This is the singular experience of stepping into a Japanese Shinto shrine. Today, we journey beyond the beautiful photographs, beyond the picturesque gates, to truly understand these sacred spaces, not as tourist landmarks, but as living, breathing parts of Japan's spiritual landscape.
You may have seen it in films or perhaps in person. A person approaches the main hall, bows, and then claps their hands twice before falling silent in prayer. Why? Why that specific gesture? And why the careful ritual of washing one's hands at a stone basin before even approaching? These are not just random customs, you know. Each movement, each object, from the initial bow at the entrance to the final prayer, is part of a rich, unspoken language. In this explainer, we are going to learn to read that language, to decode these ancient rituals, and to reveal the deep and quiet significance woven into the world of Shinto.
We will trace the steps of a visitor's journey, just as you would experience it. First, we will approach and cross the sacred boundary. Then, we will explore the core beliefs of Shinto, what is known as the Way of the Gods. After that, we will pause for a vital ritual of purity, and only then will we learn how to respectfully speak to the spirits, the kami. Finally, we will learn to see the world around us inside the shrine, decoding the powerful symbols from nature that are everywhere you look.
Your visit to a shrine. It truly begins before you even set foot on the main grounds. It starts at a distance, with the sight of an iconic gate that stands as a clear and powerful separation. It's a line drawn between the ordinary, everyday world and the sacred space of the divine.
And this, of course, is the Torii Gate. It's a symbol so deeply connected with Japan that it's instantly recognizable the world over. It functions as the formal entrance, yes, but it is so much more than that. It is a physical and spiritual threshold, a signal to your mind and your body that you are about to leave one world and enter another.
The torii is, in its essence, a gate to the realm of the gods, or as they are known in Shinto, the kami. And so it's considered proper and respectful to pause for a moment just before it, to stop, quiet your thoughts, and perform a single, simple bow before passing through. It's a small gesture, but it's one that carries immense weight. It signals your humility and your sincere intention to enter a holy space.
Once you pass through the gate, you'll find yourself on the main path leading towards the shrine. This path is called the Sando, and here, another subtle act of respect takes place. You see, the very center of this path, an area known as the Seichu, is believed to be the pathway reserved for the kami themselves. It is their walkway. And so, as a sign of respect, human visitors keep to the sides. It's a beautiful, quiet way of making space for the divine, of acknowledging that you are a guest in their home.
So now we have crossed the threshold. We are walking respectfully along the Sendo, deeper into this sacred space. But what exactly is the belief system that lies at the heart of it all? Let's take a moment to understand Shinto, the way of the gods.
Shinto is often described as Japan's indigenous faith, but calling it a religion in the Western sense can be a little misleading. It's really more of a way of life, a deep-seated cultural worldview. You see, there's no single founder, like a Christ or a Muhammad. There is no central, official holy book, like a Bible or a Quran, that dictates doctrine. At its very heart is a concept called Yo-Yo-Rozu no Kami, which poetically translates to 8 million kami. Now, this isn't a literal number. It's a beautiful, literary way of saying that a divine or sacred presence exists everywhere. The kami are not all-powerful gods in the way Western traditions might define them. Instead, they are spirits, essences that can inhabit mountains, great rivers, ancient trees, striking rock formations, and even the spirits of our own ancestors. Shinto, then, is a path of seeing and feeling the sacred in the world all around us, every single day.
Before you can approach the main hall to offer your respects, there's another crucial and truly beautiful step. It is a ritual cleansing, not just of the body, but of the mind and the spirit as well. It's a moment to pause and prepare yourself. Somewhere near the entrance, you will almost always find a basin of clear, flowing water. This is called a temizuya. The ritual of purification performed here is called temizu. And it's very important to understand that this isn't about physical hygiene. It's not about getting your hands clean. It is a deeply symbolic act. With the water, you're meant to wash away the metaphorical dust and impurities of the outside world, the stresses, the worries, the noise, so that you may approach the kami with a pure and clear heart. Let's walk through this, because each step is performed with mindfulness and precision.
You begin by taking the ladle, the hishaku, in your right hand, scooping up some fresh water and pouring it over your left hand to cleanse it. Then, you switch the ladle to your now clean left hand and purify your right. Next, switching back to your right hand, you pour a small amount of water into the palm of your cupped left hand. From your palm, you bring the water to your lips to rinse your mouth. You never let the ladle touch your mouth directly. After spitting the water out discreetly beside the basin, you cleanse your left hand one last time. And for the final step, you tip the ladle vertically, allowing the remaining water to run down and cleanse the handle for the next person. It's an act of consideration. And ideally, all of this is done with a single scoop of water, a demonstration of grace, efficiency, and respect.
Now, and only now, having crossed the threshold, walked the path with respect, and purified yourself in mind and body, are you ready to approach the Haiden? This is the main hall of worship. It is here that you can offer your respects and your prayers to the kami.
And make no mistake, this is a profoundly important act in Japanese culture. To give you just a sense of the scale, Meiji Jingu, a single shrine in the heart of Tokyo, sees approximately 3.1 million visitors just for Hatsumode, the very first shrine visit of the new year. That's millions of people participating in this shared ritual of hope and gratitude.
The standard method of prayer at most shrines is beautifully rhythmic, a kind of physical poetry. It's called Nire ni Hakushu Ichire, which translates quite simply to 2 bows, 2 claps, 1 bow. This formal sequence is the accepted way one communicates respect, sincerity, and presence to the kami.
But within this ritual, there is a subtle, beautiful detail, a detail that many people miss. As you bring your hands together for the 2 claps, you don't press them together perfectly flat at first. Instead, you initially place your right hand just slightly lower than your left. This isn't a random movement. It holds a very deep symbolic meaning.
You see, in some Shinto traditions, the left hand is said to represent the divine, the spiritual world, the kami. The right hand represents the human world, the physical body. That initial misalignment with the right hand lower is a gesture of humility. After the 2 claps, which are meant to get the kami's attention, you then bring your palms perfectly together for the prayer. And in that moment, spirit and body, divine and human, become one. It symbolizes the creation of a direct and unified connection with the kami. But what's fascinating is that not all shrines follow the exact same rule. At the incredibly famous and ancient Izumo Taisha, one of Japan's most important shrines, the correct form is not 2 claps, but 4. Why the difference? Well, it's rooted in ancient numerology. In some traditions, the number 8 represents the infinite or the divine. The annual Grand Festival at Izumo actually uses 8 claps. So for regular daily worship, that number is halved to 4, as a gesture of profound respect and humility before the incredibly powerful kami enshrined there. This deep connection to the divine and nature, it isn't just an abstract belief. It's made tangible, it's made visible in the objects and decorations you find all throughout the shrine grounds. Let's take a moment to decode some of the most common and powerful symbols you will encounter.
You will almost certainly see these thick, heavy, twisted ropes made of rice straw. They are called shimenawa. You'll see them hanging on torii gates, wrapped around ancient sacred trees, or strung across the entrance to the prayer hall. Like the torii, they act as another form of sacred barrier, marking a space or an object as pure and holy. And symbolically, these beautifully woven ropes represent clouds.
And this is where it gets truly brilliant. Dangling from the shimenawa, you will see these zigzag folded paper streamers. They are called shide. They flutter in the wind, and they represent bolts of lightning. Now, what's absolutely fascinating is that the Japanese word for lightning, inazuma, is written with characters that literally mean wife of the rice plant. Ancient Japanese farmers observed that lightning storms during the summer often led to a rich rice harvest, believing the lightning somehow fertilized the rice.
So, when you see these objects together, you aren't just looking at decoration. You are looking at a powerful visual prayer. The shimenawa rope represents the clouds. The paper shide represent the lightning that accompanies a life-giving storm. And often, tassels of straw hanging down symbolize the falling rain. Altogether, these symbols embody the essential elements needed for a bountiful harvest. It shows in a truly elegant way just how deeply Shinto is tied to the rhythms of nature, to agriculture, and to the fundamental forces of life.
And this really brings us to the heart of the matter. A shrine is not just a place for asking for favors or wishing for things. It is, perhaps more importantly, a place to express gratitude. Gratitude for nature, for the seasons, for life itself,
and for our connection to the world and to those who came before us. It's a practice of mindfulness, a quiet moment of thanks, found not in a book, but in the feeling of the wind and the simple clap of your hands.
So, the next time you have the chance to visit a shrine, what will you see that you never saw before? From the path you choose to walk on, to the way you purify your hands with water, to the hidden meaning behind a simple clap, every single element has a purpose, a story. A shrine is an invitation not just to see, but to understand, to slow down, to observe, and to perhaps participate in a silent tradition of quiet respect that has flowed like a river through centuries of Japanese life.